Sit back, relax. You're listening to the Brogcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Brogcast. As you guys can see, I've got a new pop filter going on. I've got a red one. I replaced the black one that came with my microphone stand, and I thought it would be a fun little addition. I originally wanted a lime green one, but the only colors that I could find were blue, red, orange, and yellow. And so after kind of thinking for a bit, I was like, I'm going with red. So this is my second take, once again, doing this podcast. I think I was actually like 15 or 20 minutes in, and I didn't realize how political these questions were becoming as I was going down the list. And it got to that last question, and it was so political and so crazy. I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm putting in another prompt, and ChatGPT is going to give me non-political, non-personal questions, because I really, really try to stay away from politics on my social media and doing these podcasts. You know, I don't want to start fights. I don't want people to think I'm some bad person, and I just don't want to argue with people or cause any conflict. So I scrapped that. That take is gone, dude. But looks like we've got a list of good, sort of lighthearted questions that aren't politically driven or too personal. So I also have some beverages on deck here. I've got my coconut water, which I recently found out this particular coconut water may have lead in it. I bought a whole 24 pack of this stuff, and I'm probably halfway through it. So yeah, I might have some lead flowing around in me, but I'm definitely not buying this brand again. I forget how I found out about this. I think it was in like my Google News, and it was like, coconut water recalled for lead contamination. I was like, I just bought coconut water, and I looked it up, and yeah, it's this particular brand. It's this flavor too. There was also like the pineapple flavor. That one got recalled, but I don't drink this every day. I don't drink this all the time, and I'm definitely not buying another pack of it. So I think I should be okay. And then I've also got a glass of water, because I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to be here for 40 or 45 minutes. So, all right, looks like we've got a good list of questions here. First question is under general curiosity and philosophy. The first question is, what is something everyone should experience at least once? I got one. Everyone, regardless if you like sports or not, should go to a soccer game. I know nothing about soccer except for the whole goal thing. Like I know how they score points, but I don't know anything about the penalties or any of the other crazy rules. But I've been to a few soccer games, and they are awesome. Like the atmosphere is incredible. They've got all these cool chants, and everyone's like super involved, and it is the best. I'm from Oregon, and I've gone to a couple Portland Timbers games, and the way that they just run the whole venue is just insane. And I guarantee it, even if you don't like soccer or don't like sports, you will love going to a soccer game. It's incredible. It's so awesome. It's been a minute since I think it's been like 10 years since I've been to a game. I should go to another game soon. All right, next question is happiness a choice or a result? It's a little bit of both, you know. Some people grow up having a rough childhood or having a rough life, or there's something circumstantial that's happening to them currently that, you know, may bum them down a little bit and make their life unhappy. But I feel like you can practice gratitude and happiness in other ways, and sort of, you know, weigh the pros and cons, and just, I think gratitude is a big piece of it. Just, yeah, looking for things to be grateful for. I'm actually working on that myself, and it's really, really hard to do, It's really hard to practice gratitude, at least for me, because I'm a pessimist. In fact, that's in my ancestry DNA report. It says that I'm a pessimist, and I used to think I was a realist, and I kind of am sometimes. But I'm like, ah, crap, they got me. I am a pessimist. So, um, I feel like it's mostly circumstantial, but there are ways to become happy and satisfied and grateful in your life. Next question is what makes something truly beautiful? I don't really know. It depends on the subject. Like what makes this broadcast scene beautiful? We got my drums in the back, my beautiful drums. We've got my new beautiful pop filter. We got a cool poster in the back that's pretty beautiful, a Rush poster. We've got Neil Peart's drum set over here on this side. That's pretty beautiful. I guess what makes something beautiful is just if there's something about it that keeps your attention and attracts you to it. I think that's what makes something beautiful. Next question is: can you ever be truly prepared for failure? Not 100%. No. Um, there are times when life is gonna throw some curveballs at you, and you're gonna fail unexpectedly. That's happened to me many times in my life. But you can prepare for failure in some cases. But yeah, sometimes life can knock you down, and it's completely out of nowhere, and you just fail, and you learn from it. Yeah, failure can can hit you, out of nowhere. There are some things that you just can't prepare for as far as failure goes, but some stuff you can, but some stuff you just can't. That's life. Next question is: why do humans tell stories? It's kind of a weird question. I think humans tell stories to, well, for one thing, to keep people engaged in the conversation, but also to give people advice. That's one, and just for the fun of it, hearing somebody's funny story. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's why humans tell stories. Next question is perfection achievable or even desirable? No, perfection is not achievable. It's impossible to be completely perfect at everything. That's just mathematically, like that's not going to happen to anybody. Um, so no, I don't think so. It is definitely desirable. I think we are born to want to be perfect at everything. It sort of ties into our survival instincts. I think uh, I think a lot of us want to be perfect, but it's definitely not possible to be 100% perfect at everything. All right, it's coconut water time. Heck yeah. It's too bad I can't buy this brand anymore. It's really good. Next question is: what separates knowledge from wisdom? Knowledge is typically something surface level that doesn't have a large impact, whereas wisdom is something you can take with you anywhere in life, no matter what part of life it is. Wisdom can always get you through it. Uh, Knowledge is something like, oh, you can pass a test with. Wisdom is like you know how to go through life a certain way. So I feel like knowledge is more service level, whereas wisdom is very broad and can help you with a lot of different things. Next question is: what does it mean to live a meaningful life? Um, I would say living your life to the fullest and doing the best that you can, and making the most of life as possible. Having fun, learning to laugh at things. Yeah, that's what I would consider to be a meaningful life. Next question is time our most valuable resource? No, I think, in fact, time is sort of a lack of resource because we don't have much of it left. Um, I would say our most valuable resource is togetherness and being with people and socializing and having each other. I think that's our most valuable resource. Time is not a valuable resource. It's valuable, but it's not really a resource. It's just it's too short. So it's too short, in my opinion, to be really a resource. It's important, but it's not a resource. Next question is: do we fear the unknown or the lack of control? Yeah, I think a lot of people feel fear the unknown and the lack of control. Um, One big thing that I've learned, because I think I've mentioned it before, but I like to meditate, and that is one of the things that you learn in meditation is just letting stuff go, letting things be, and letting the unknown and what you can't control to just pass by and let it be. Um, and I think that's a reason why meditation is very helpful for me because of that. There are things that are unknown and things that I can't control that that make life a little bit hard. But meditation teaches us to just let things be. I think that's another thing that's in our human nature is wanting to control everything when we really can't. All right, next question is what kills creativity? I would say negativity kills creativity. If someone's talking bad shit to you while you're trying to create some stuff, it's a complete downer. Another thing is maybe the lack of fun, maybe too much seriousness. I know that definitely kills it. If I'm taking something too seriously, I just think to myself, what's the point? This is gonna turn out stupid, you know. So I feel like, and there also needs to be inspiration involved in creativity, obviously. But I would say fun, inspiration, and positivity. That's what equals creativity to me. Next question is how can boredom be productive? It's really not. At least for me. When I'm bored, I'm bored. There's nothing I can do about it. I just wait for the boredom to go away. That's all I can really do because I can't translate boredom to productivity. It's just the way it is. I just let I just for me, I have to let boredom just pass me by. Otherwise, there's just yeah, there's no way around it for me, honestly. Next question is what is the best way to overcome creative blocks? I would say for me, listening to music or watching certain videos. Like if I'm in a creative block when it comes to like my drumming, for example, one thing that really gets me going is watching other drummers and watching drum covers or solos, like a Neil Peart solo. Hey, shout out to Neil Peart. Watching a Neil Peart solo really gets me inspired and gets me behind the drum set. Watching a concert, something like that. When it comes to other types of creativity, yeah, I'd say it's the same thing. Like if I watch someone else do it and I see how they do it, it kind of is like, oh, that's really cool. You know, I should do something like that, and that's what really gets me going is watching other people create. That makes me want to create. Next question is: can discipline be taught or only developed? It's a little bit of both. I feel like genetics are definitely involved, like they are with a lot of things, but a lot of it probably does have to do with environment. I feel like if you really take the steps to become disciplined, then you most certainly can. But I feel like it's harder for some people due to genes. But I think most of it actually is environmental and just buckling down and deciding that you're going to do something and be disciplined about it. Next question is talent or hard work more important? I would say hard work is more important, but I feel like it's definitely easier with people with born talent to get the ball rolling. Like with with me and my drumming, it was something that came very easily. As soon as I started drumming, I knew exactly where to go each time. Um, that's one of the few things that's come to me that easily. But there are people who want to get into something and they really have to sit there and buckle down and be disciplined and work hard at it to make it happen. And I'm not saying I didn't work hard for the accomplishments I've made in music, but having that raw talent really gets the ball rolling and makes things a lot easier. But I'd say 80% of it is hard work. Next question is what does your environment say about your mindset? Hmm. I don't know if they're talking about my environment particularly, or just in general? Let me look at that question again. I would say in general, yeah. Um, Most of your environment is what affects your mindset. It's really nothing else. I guess a tad bit of it would be internal, but just like the whole talent thing and the hard work and the discipline thing, I think a big part of it is environment and also a little bit of just internal conflict to dictate your mindset, if that makes any sense. Next question is, how do people stay motivated over the long term? Now, I relate to this a lot because up until recently, I had a really hard time getting this workout and diet thing rolling. Well, the diet thing I've always been pretty good at doing, but the workout thing, like getting sticking to that was one of the hardest things. And for me, what got me into it was I just, for some reason, it just something clicked in me, and then I was able to do that and stick to it. But for a long time, sticking to my workout routine was just so hard. I would, like a lot of people, I would go at it for a few weeks, a few months, and then just drop off. But something in me just clicked, and now I'm able to do it on a consistent basis. I think in order for someone to stay motivated to something over the long term is just doing it habitually, and then you'll get to a point to where motivation isn't really a factor. It's just, okay, I'm doing this, and that will uh keep you in the direction of your goals. It's not always going to be motivation, but it's just going to be a habit. So your mind is just going to go, okay, I'm doing this now, and that helps you stay motivated. Is just sticking to something and doing something habitually until it becomes so much of a habit that motivation isn't needed. You just do it. Next question, is multitasking a myth? These are weird questions. Some of these are really weird. Uh no, multitasking is not a myth. Multitasking is a real thing. People multitask all the time. That's such a weird question. That's that's a fact. Multitasking is a real thing. I don't know why anybody would think it's a myth. People multitask all the time. Next question is, can failure be more valuable than success? In some ways, yeah. Um, I know for me, failing teaches me a lot more about something than success. Success for me kind of fades away, and I think that's because I'm a pessimist, like I mentioned. But when I fail at something, it teaches me a lot more than when I'm successful at something. When I'm successful at something, success just kind of the um the feeling from success is more of a short burst, you know? Like when I succeed at something, it's like, "Oh, great." And then, within a few days it just kind of fades. But failure is something that is, when I fail at something, it I beat myself up for it for days and days and days until I figure it out. And then when I figure it out, it feels good. But yeah, failure helps me learn things a lot better just because it's more constant. The the hit from success is very short term compared to failure, and that's why failure makes me learn a lot more. Next question is, how do people balance growth and gratitude? I went into the gratitude part a little bit earlier, but I would say meditation is a big tool for that. Especially if it's a guided meditation and you have somebody to bestow wisdom on you when you're meditating, that really helps. And gratitude is a very hard thing, at least for me to do. But you just have to sit there and go through it and sort of study it, the things that you're grateful for. And then eventually it will help you grow and help you continue uh, to have gratitude. Next question is, what makes a story unforgettable? Um, what makes a story unforgettable is when something completely insane happens. Like when someone tells me a story and something insane or unbelievable happens, it definitely makes it unforgettable. And then you can remember it for years and years and years. That's what makes a story unforgettable is when something really impactful and just crazy happens. Next question is, why are some movies better the second time? I think that's because when you watch something for the first time, you're not really taking it in all the way, at least that's how I am with things. When I'm watching a movie, I'm sort of following the pattern of it, but I'm not really analyzing the in betweens, you know? But when you watch a movie the second time around, you know the pattern of the movie and how things go. And at that point, you're able to kind of dig into like the finer details and think of the movie in a different way. Next question is, what is the difference between art and entertainment? Um, Art is just creating something in general, whereas entertainment is another art form, but it's specifically for entertaining people. Not all art is entertaining. Some of it is just good to look at, or something that's it's hard to explain, but entertainment is a form of art. Not all art is entertainment, if that makes sense. Next question is, can music influence your emotions instantly? Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if I read the lyrics. The instrumentals can make me feel a surge of emotions, but if I look at the lyrics and I read into the lyrics, oh man, there is one song I I usually don't, music and movies and things like that don't usually move me to tears. But there was one song that I listened to, and I was like, "Oh man, this is kind of a sad song." And then I read the lyrics, and I was able to relate to the lyrics so much that I was like sobbing. It was crazy. It was the first time that music or movies or anything like that made me cry, because I usually don't cry from music. I feel emotions from music, but that was the first time that it actually moved me to tears. Next question is, why do people love nostalgia? I think people love nostalgia because it makes you think of all the good times in your life and the things that you've experienced. Especially if you're going through a tough time in the present day, it's really easy to hold on to the past and just constantly think of all the good things that happened. Um, and I feel like another part of that is because a lot of people don't think about the good things that are happening as they're living in the present. And so in the future, when you think about the past, you go, oh, I didn't realize how good it was back then. And I think that's why people hold on to nostalgia so much, is because at that time they didn't realize how good that they had it until the present day. Next question is, what makes a great villain in fiction? Hmm. I think a great villain is somebody who can really push the buttons of the viewer. Like, if a villain is doing all of these things that can just make the entire audience hate them, that's a villain. Um, Now, this is a little bit different. Well, no, I for some reason I thought it said movies, but no, in fiction. One great villain in fiction is CM Punk, my favorite pro wrestler. This guy knows exactly how to be a villain. I've watched some of his, like, his new stuff is really good, but I've watched his old promos from when he was in the independent circuit, and this guy is a villain. He knows exactly how to do it. He knows exactly how to pull on the emotional strings of the audience and just make them hate him. That's a good example of a villain. All right. Next question is, how has binge watching changed storytelling? I don't think it's changed storytelling at all. It's just sort of accelerated it in a way, because back in the day when there wasn't streaming, and when you wanted to watch your favorite show, you would have to tune in every week, once a week. Whereas now you can watch your entire favorite series in a couple days. So I don't think it changes storytelling. The storytelling is the same, but it definitely accelerates it for sure. Next question is, what trends in entertainment will age poorly? I would say anything in entertainment that has to do with popular culture, because there are some things that are happening now that may turn into bad into bad things later on in life. Perfect example, the whole P Diddy thing. I keep seeing these clips from All That show, that sketch, that kids sketch show, All That, and P Diddy was a big guest on that show. And I think back then, I don't think they realized the kind of stuff that was about to happen, 30 years later. So that's one thing that will age poorly often in entertainment is popular culture. Next question is, what makes a piece of media timeless? I think what makes a piece of media timeless, whether that be a movie or a song or something like that, something that makes it timeless is something that you'll listen to it and feel a certain way, and then years later listen to it and feel the exact same way. That's timeless to me. If there's, let's say, a lyric that impacts you as you're listening to it, but also years later you look at it and you feel the same way. That's a. I hope you guys didn't hear that, and if you did, that's kind of funny. But my stepdad sneezed again in the middle of the episode. That's hilarious. Next question is, how does humor evolve over time? I think humor evolves when it has to. I'm saying it again, but pop culture. If there's humor about some sort of pop culture event, it's gonna fade away with time. But what makes humor last over time is anything that can just stand the test of time. If Yeah, usually when there's something pop culture related, it just fades away. That's usually the only aspect of humor that really fades or evolves. Other than that, unless it's like 100 years ago, there's a lot of like stand up specials I'll watch, or comedians doing speeches um, that really stand the test of time. Like, you listen to it today and you'll go, "Oh, wow, like that's what they were talking about back then. That really rings true today." But if it's a pop culture piece about music or about news or about, politics or any current events, that's when it fades away. Next question is, how might everyday life look 50 years from now? Man, that's really hard to say, because 50 years ago, we thought we knew what was going to happen 50 years later. And I mean, some of it was correct. Like AI, for example, they kind of predicted that a little bit. But it's really hard to say. I really don't know. I really don't know what life is going to look like 50 years from now. Um, it might be. This sounds kind of boring, but I feel like AI is just going to continue to advance and hopefully help us more than hurt us. Um, yeah. Oh, here we go. Next question. That's so funny. What are the ethical limits of using AI creatively? I think if you're using AI as maybe 10% of your whole project, that's no problem. But if you're using AI for every piece of what you're trying to create, that to me is considered laziness, and that's the threshold right there. But if you're using it here and there, like just to sort of guide you, or something like that, like with what I'm doing right now, I'm using an AI to answer questions, or an AI to give me questions. But let's say I use an AI for the questions, and then I use an AI for the editing, and then I use an AI for the things that I say. Like, that's too much. That's the threshold. That's where it gets to be like, okay, that's just pure laziness, and there's no creativity involved. Next question is, could robots ever have a personality? Yeah. I mean, if you program them to, yeah, robots could certainly have a personality. Um, we think of robots as these beings that don't. I mean, technically they don't have emotions, but you can definitely make them a personality. That Yeah, for sure. Next question is, are smart homes actually making life easier? Yeah, yeah, I would say in a lot of aspects, they're making life easier. using them to turn the lights on and turn the TV on and all that, and using it for like I use AI for recipes sometimes because I'm not that big of a cook, and so I like using them for recipes or maybe instructions on how to do certain things around the house. Yeah, I would say it's definitely making things easier. Next question is, will handwriting become obsolete? Yeah, I think it will eventually, but just like with a lot of things, I think with time it'll make a resurgence. But that's one thing I'm starting to notice is that handwriting is fading away. Like, what was it? I think I was filling out some piece of paperwork and I was like, what the heck is going on with my writing? Like, I obviously still know how to spell and things like that, but making my letters and words legible while writing them, it was kind of tricky and I had to kind of slow it down. Whereas when I was a kid, or maybe even, you know, 10 years ago, I could just write really fast. But now I've noticed I've had to like slow it down and make sure that my writing is legible because other than that, I really don't write stuff down. I type everything. And I think that is something that will uh will happen is handwriting is just going to fade away, but I think maybe years afterwards it's going to have a resurgence. Just like with like vinyl records. Like when vinyl records first came out, that was the only, besides radio, that was the only way that you could play music. And then it faded away. It turned into cassettes and then CDs and then vinyl records. They didn't come back because they've always made vinyl records for as long as they've had them, but people started playing vinyl records again. So I think that'll happen with handwriting. People go, "Oh yeah, I kind of like how this is. I kind of like handwriting now." I feel like yeah, it'll come back eventually, but for the immediate future, yeah, it's gonna fade away. Next question is, how can we use tech to enhance real life experiences? I think we already are. Um, whether that be driving or making music, or like I was saying earlier, cooking with food, or also getting to talk to people in different languages. I think that's already happening, but I would say to enhance real life experiences, that's how you do it, and it's continue to grow. Next question is, what old technology should make a comeback? That's so funny. I love how I love how these I love how these questions one after the other are like the questions are like what I just answered. That's hilarious. I don't really know. Uh I don't know, maybe certain elements of music that have become obsolete, maybe that. I would say yeah, maybe some bits of music from back in the day, maybe that could come back. All right. Next question is, how does technology shape our memory? Yeah, I think it is starting to have sort of a negative effect on our memory because I'm starting to notice that myself. Like, I don't know. I feel like the more I use AI and Google searches and things like that, I really don't have to rely on my brain to remember this kind of stuff. Same with like calculators. Like, I don't have to rely on my own brain to remember this stuff. I just know that the Google search or the AI tool or the calculator is going to have my answer. So I think with us not having to rely on our own brains, it's definitely going to progress to the point to where we won't have to remember anything. And so eventually our memory just might fade away. Next question is, can tech improve mental health or harm it? I think in both ways. Yeah, I think it can harm and improve mental health. If you can if you get hooked on this technology thing too much, then yeah, it's going to impact your mental health. But if you can use your own research and watch certain things or listen to certain things to improve your mental health, yeah, in that case it can. But I think there are people who abuse technology, especially social media, and it's degrading their mental health. But you can also use technology to improve it. Next question is, what inventions are we taking for granted? I'd say there are a lot of inventions that we've taken for granted. Just because if you look at certain things, 100 years ago, how hard those things were to attain, that now we're using so much that we just kind of forget like what it used to be like. Next question is, what would the world look like if everyone was honest? Um, I feel like in the long term, it would be excellent. But I also feel like in the short term, there would be a lot of chaos because there would be a lot of ugly truths that would come out. And I feel like that would just cause a war. But I feel like long term, it wouldn't be so bad because then by that point, everything would be all smoothed out and just straightened out. Next question is, what would happen if people never needed to sleep? I feel like there would be a lot more accomplishments, a lot more creativity involved if we didn't have to shut our brains off for 8 to 10 hours. I feel like that's what would happen. If we could just continue to go and go and go, our advancement in the world would just be just amplified. Like without, yeah, if we didn't need sleep, it'd be crazy how things would advance. Next question is, if animals could talk, what species would be the most interesting? I would say maybe gorillas, apes, monkeys. And they already kind of can. They know how to use sign language, but I feel like I would like to hear maybe their side of the story on certain things if they could talk. Maybe whales too. Whales also communicate with their uh, their calls and things like that. But they are also very, very wise. I would like to hear a whale's perspective on things. Same with elephants. Like all of these animals that we know who are super intelligent, I would like to hear them speak and just kind of get their perspective on things. Next question is, what would you do if you had an extra hour every day? I'd probably use it to just kind of like that one question that I answered a couple questions ago about the world advancing. I feel like yeah, I would use it to get something done or create something new. Next question is, if memories could be recorded and replayed, should they be? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it would give us a lot more of an accurate look on history and also the future. And also, it could be also chaotic because just like that one question about honesty, a lot of ugly things could come out. But I feel like in the long term, it could really help us in terms of accuracy and things like that. Next question is, what is something you do if failure wasn't an option? I don't know. I can't really think of anything. Just because failure has kind of helped me learn a lot of things. If I didn't have failure in my life, I don't know if I could progress the way that I have. It's just been a good tool in helping me learn and grow and progress in different things. So I really don't know the answer to that one. Next que- next question is, if curiosity had a scent, what would it smell like? What the hell? That's so bizarre. That's that's some that's some weird shit. I don't know. It just doesn't. There are so many aspects to curiosity. There's negatives and positives, so it can't be a good smell and it can't be necessarily a bad smell. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one, guys. I'm sorry. All right, next question is, what small change has had the biggest impact on your daily life? So, one small change as far as supplements go that really, really helped me a lot was mud water. Um, it's helped me cut out caffeine and energy drinks. It's helped me sleep better. It's helped me focus better. It's helped me feel better and just in general. It's also like helped me health wise. I feel like that just that one supplement, that one thing, which was mud water, drinking mud water was has just been super beneficial in a lot of different ways. All right, last question. Why do some moments feel longer or shorter than others? I think that's because it's sort of our perception on certain things and maybe the impact of what's going on. Like, um, especially if it's something bad. If it's something really bad, then it tends to extend. If it's something really good, then it feels like it goes by really, really fast. So I think that's my answer to that question is if it's something negative, then it tends to feel longer. But if it's something good, then yes, it's it's shorter typically. All right, y'all, that does it for this episode of the Brogcast. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.